Morning. I'm feeling determined today. I am kind of, obviously I've got the initial assessment done. I don't know anything now until Monday. So I am now going to be like aggressively festive. I want to make sure that this doesn't affect everything. I don't want to sit and mope for the rest of December. I'm not going to know anything more till Monday anyway, until I get this cast off and they have a proper look at it. So I am just determined now to make the best of it. I might still have like the odd moment where it gets me down because I can't do X, Y, Z, but my pity party's over now, and I'm going to try and still enjoy the rest of December and Christmas. So like we're pushing on now, like got to crack on with it now. I only have a handful of lessons left before I finish for Christmas, and I'm really looking forward to having some time to decompress and just kind of sit and relax and soak in the festive season. So I'm looking forward to that. I do have my next lesson in not very long, so I've got to prepare for that. But I had myself a nice, relaxing morning. Had the weirdest sense of deja vu, to be honest, because last week, Sunday and Monday, I was ill. I felt awful. And then I was like, oh, so for Tuesday, I've not got a lesson first thing in the morning. I'm going to relax, let myself have a slow morning, lie in. And then this is exactly what's happened again this week. Sunday and Monday felt kind of down because, you know, I can imagine last week I felt really gutted about having a cold. But either way, Sunday, Monday this week didn't feel fabulous. Let myself lie in and have a slow morning on Tuesday. And like, I just had the weirdest sense. I was like, we've done this already. But no, I did have a nice slow morning, let myself lie in, sat and chilled and had a cup of tea and watched SpongeBob, because SpongeBob's very much a comfort show for me. So I sat and I watched SpongeBob for a bit. And now I'm dressed and ready to crack on. There are, so obviously, you know, things are still difficult. My hair in particular is tricky to manage with one hand. And at some point today, I'm going to try and wash it. Haven't tried washing my hair yet. I've been kind of putting it off, to be honest, but I'm starting to, I feel gross now. I'm going to have to bite the bullet and wash it. I've got a bag for the shower to put my arm in to keep the cast dry, but I'm going to attempt to wash my hair later. We will see how that goes. As I said, I've been putting it off because I know it's probably going to be very awkward and possibly painful, but I can't put it off forever. I've got to crack on and get it done. So that's the that's the major kind of obstacle for today. It's not obviously the only task I have to do. That's going to be the biggest obstacle for me today, I think. But putting my hair in a ponytail was slightly easier today than yesterday. So baby steps. Obviously everything else is still really awkward to do, but putting my hair felt easier, and I think I've done a better job of it. It was really lumpy yesterday, especially underneath where I can't, like, you know, scoop my hair with my left hand. It was really lumpy underneath, but today it actually feels like I've done a decent job. So I'm getting used to it. I'm just getting used to the adjustments. But yeah, I'm feeling a little more determined today. It's like, no, we will make the best of this. So yes, I have a few lessons to do, and it's film night tonight. I don't know whether I'm going to get a chance to watch Barry. I might get a chance to watch some episodes of Barry, but we'll see, because the priority has to be washing my hair. Maybe that's going to be my, you know, like when you get out of the shower and you have that minute where you just kind of exist in the world for a little bit before you start getting dried and dressed, or at least I do anyway. Maybe that's going to be my decompression treat after the shower, after the ordeal, is going to be to watch an episode or two of Barry. We'll see. But I've got Advents to open. Advents, plural, because today is the 16th, even numbered day, which means I get a Loom Advent. And I'm very much looking forward to that. Okay, 16th. Yeah, the screen is definitely getting paler again. And you're actually going to be able to see it today. As I was editing yesterday's video, I was like, it looks like nighttime. It was so dark. Yesterday, it was ridiculous. It absolutely poured it down all day. It was torrential. But at least today, you're going to be able to see the colour, sort of. I've decided to sit in a really odd position today, admittedly. But it's a much paler green, and there's almost some grey flecks to it. That is one of my hairs. Yeah, it's a much lighter green with some grey tones in it. Oh, I wonder where we're going. But for reference, if I show you where we were on the 14th, oh, you're stuck. Ugh. On the 14th, we were that green. And today, oh no, the lighting is not showing you. In fact, they are very similar. Very, very similar. Okay, maybe that wasn't the best example. Like I keep saying, at some point I'm going to show you the progression of the fade that we have so far. But yeah, it is. I feel like it's getting less of a rich green and more into something else. Are we going yellow? Are we going grey? I don't know. I don't know. We will find out together. I'm going to shut some of these doors because they keep catching on the bag I'm storing my Advent in. I don't want to rip the box because it's so pretty. Right, so Advent in Avonlea is done, and I have box 8 again because obviously I very nearly opened this on Sunday. But day 8 of the Loom calendar is Foxtail. Now I'm guessing this might be like a burnt orange, like it's a fox, you know, surely. Unless it's like a plant foxtail, in which case I might be totally wrong. Oh no, I was close actually. It's a little more yellowy than I was expecting, but it's definitely like an orangey brown colour. Okay, there we go. That's showing the colour a little better. I really, really picked the worst place to sit today. The one day that we've actually had a good natural light, and I've gone, let's not use it. But there we go. Yeah, that's actually showing a good representation of the colour. That's a very good colour. But yeah, there's definitely some kind of yellowy tones underneath that. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Anyway, I am going to have to run because I've got to prep and set up for this lesson. So I'm going to do that, and then I will check in with you again later this evening. Hello. I am almost done with lessons for the day. I've got one more left and then I'll be finished. And after that is film night. I've managed to catch up on Barry, so at least I'm up to date on that with everybody else. And we are watching Gremlins tonight, which I haven't seen in ages. And it's set in Christmas. It's set at Christmas, so it's sort of a Christmassy film, but I've not seen it in a while, so it'll be really interesting to watch that again. I managed to wash my hair. It was difficult, but managed it. I'm starting to figure out now what I can and cannot do, and which movements in particular are difficult. I can't grip things very well. So like if I try and hold something tight, that it's too painful to do. So I can't do that. And I also can't lift things up, partly because of the grip situation, but also having holding any weight with it, that hurts too much as well. I'm able to brace some things on with the cast being so hard. I'm able to use it to brace things on. And that's not too bad, but yeah, I can't hold any weight with it, and I can't kind of grip things, which is making things a little annoying. My elbow's fine, no pain in my elbow, and there's pretty much no pain up to about here, So like here up, that's where it kind of starts to hurt. But yeah, kind of there down isn't too bad. So at least there's that. But yeah, no, I've been like turning lights on with my elbow if I'm carrying things in my right hand, which at the moment is the only option. As I say, I can kind of brace some things on the top if I've got like a plate and it's a little too heavy for one hand. I can just basically use this hand almost like a little ledge to put it on. But I can't. Yeah, nothing can bear weight from here, which actually makes sense from when I was in the emergency room on Friday, because even the weight of my hand on my wrist, like actually holding my hand up, was excruciating. So that kind of makes sense. That seems to match what was happening. So I'm learning a little bit about what the restrictions are currently, which annoying, but at least I'm aware of it. But yes, we are, like I said, one more lesson, and then I have film night. And I think from tomorrow I'm going to try and do some deliberately festive things, because obviously I said this morning we're gonna aim for like aggressive festivity, but I think this whole thing has pulled me out of the Christmassy mood a little bit, and I want to get back into it. And I'm very aware that today hasn't really included a lot of festive stuff. I've been doing a lot of work and a lot of kind of life admin, just sorting things out, which doesn't exactly give Christmas very much. So I think I'm going to try and find things to do for the rest of the week that's going to put me in a really Christmassy mood. Not entirely sure what they'll be, but I will find some things, because I do want to feel festive. I like Christmas. I love Christmas, and I want to feel cozy and festive again. So I think, yeah, from tomorrow I will try and do things that put me back into that place. Because as I said this morning, the pity party is finished, and I'm going to make the best of this whole situation. So I'm going to have a think tonight, I think, about what I can do that's going to put me back into that happy festive mindset, because we will have a good time. We will enjoy Christmas this year. I did get a chance to redo my nails, because some of them were starting to peel off. Although, not only was I having to paint it with my non-dominant hand, I was also having to paint it with a broken wrist. And they've actually come out better than normal. Like, I don't know whether I was just being more careful because of the broken wrist and just taking a little bit more time to be more precise about it. They're actually neater than they normally are. So I don't know, maybe that's the technique I should go for in future. But yeah, I feel like I've done an okay job, considering they are a little more red than is showing in this light. It's a very nice kind of wintry, Christmassy colour. But I've just been topping it up. I can't afford to go and have my nails done every week or so I've just been doing it myself, topping it up. But I'm pleasantly surprised, because I did that hand the day before I fell. I've kind of been alternating, doing one hand one week and one hand the next, and just making sure to keep them topped up. But I'm pleasantly surprised at how decent a job I've done. Oh, but yes, I'm going to go and teach my lesson, and then might have a little treat with film night, because like I said, I'm gonna force the feeling better. Nothing quite says Christmas cheer like forcing yourself to feel better. But no, I might have myself a little treat with the film and watch Gremlins, and then after that I need to do my reading. So that is what I'm going to do. Have a lovely night. I will see you tomorrow. Tonight I read chapter 21, A New Departure in Flavourings. Anne starts the chapter crying as Mr. Phillips is leaving, although she does say she's not sure why she's crying because she didn't actually like him. She blames the other girls and says she only really started crying because everybody else was and she couldn't help it. There is a new minister arriving though, Mr. Allen, and everyone is very keen to meet him and his wife. Anne approves of both Mr. and Mrs. Allen, and she finds another kindred spirit in Mrs. Allen. Marilla decides they need to invite them for tea, and Anne is desperate to make a successful cake for this visit, having forgotten to add the flour to her last cake. She works very hard to be careful, but when it's served and Mrs. Allen takes a bite, Marilla sees her face briefly make a pretty odd expression, and she quickly tastes the cake. She exclaims that it's awful and begs Mrs. Allen to stop eating out of politeness and asks what Anne put in the cake. Anne is mortified and swears she follows the recipe and only added vanilla as a flavouring. Marilla demands that Anne bring the vanilla so she can check it, and when she does, Marilla realises what's happened. She says that a week before, one of the medicine bottles broke, and so she poured it into a spare bottle that she had, an empty vanilla one. She admits partial responsibility here, but asks how on earth Anne didn't smell it. Anne wails that she had a head cold that morning and couldn't smell anything before fleeing to her room and sobbing. When she hears footsteps, she begs Marilla not to make her go down to clean the dishes, saying she can't face Mrs. Allen again, but it turns out to be Mrs. Allen coming to comfort Anne and to thank her for her kindness and for putting in so much effort. At the end of the evening, Anne mentions to Marilla that it's nice to think of tomorrow as a new day with no mistakes, and Marilla says Anne will probably make plenty anyway. Anne tries to defend herself by saying, well, at least she never makes the same mistake twice, but Marilla says that's small comfort when she always finds new ones to make, which seems a little bit harsh, really.